Welcome to episode 383, where I'm speaking with my client, Anna, about her Ayurvedic journey and her experience on the Digestive Reset Cleanse. And she talks about how she not only felt the changes from the cleanse physically, but also mentally and in her interactions with others. So please stay tuned to learn more. Hi there, I'm your host Colette, and on this podcast I will be sharing the teachings of Ayurveda, yoga, and holistic health practices. Now, if you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend checking out the first couple of episodes where I do an introduction to Ayurveda and the mind-body types. Thanks for listening, and now here's a new episode. Hello and welcome back to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. I am very happy to welcome Anna to the podcast. Anna is a client of mine and she's come on the podcast today to share her experience. Anna, it's lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Colette. And it's a big pleasure to be the part of your podcast.
So Anna, can you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, please?
So my name is Anna. I'm originally from Lithuania, and we are moving and we are traveling the world because of my husband's job. So currently we stay and live in Dubai. I'm a mom of two daughters, so 14 and 18 years old. And also I'm a yoga teacher, and I facilitate sound baths, or like sound healing sessions in other words. So yes, and I've decided to try the cleanse with Colette. I was very passionate about Ayurveda for recent couple of years, and I wanted to make it, but I didn't know who to choose to try this cleanse. So Colette is really the right person. She's so supportive on this cleanse, and I am really satisfied with the results of the cleanse.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'm glad that you felt that support. That's really important for me to support everybody. Thank you for that introduction, first of all. And let's start with, what was your introduction to Ayurveda?
The first introduction with Ayurveda was before I started to train and to practice even yoga. I went to the Ayurvedic spa center and I tried the Abhyanga massage. I didn't know anything about Ayurveda. But I felt so good after the massage. And the guy who was making this massage explained me that every Abhyanga massage is tailored by the doshas. I didn't know anything about because doshas at that time. And he explained me that I am Vata, Pitta, and we have to pacify my Vata. And so he made the Abhyanga, which was aimed to pacify Vata at that time. And I started to be very curious because I felt so good about after this treatment. I wanted to repeat, and I went several times to repeat this massage. Yeah, and I started to read the books about Ayurveda because he explained me a little bit shortly that we all have three doshas, but one dosha mostly is dominating. And so to keep in balance all the doshas, we have to eat proper food, to make a certain kind of activities which are different for each dosha. And so we have to make also grounding practices. This was my starting point from that time. And in a couple of years, when I've decided that I want to go for the yoga training teachers course, so there we've got a lot of more information about Ayurveda. And it opened a little, even more horizons for me to explore. And it was also very interesting to test the trainees which were on the course according to the dosha, and to choose which food is good for everyone.
Yeah. It's very interesting as you're learning it, because you're just learning so much all at once. It's interesting to hear that journey of how it started with the Abhyanga massage and then your yoga practice, and then you decided you wanted to do a cleanse.
Well, so I wanted to test myself, to test my body, and there were also some health issues which I wanted to correct, not with the like traditional medicine, which the doctors usually suggest to do. I wanted to do it more naturally, eliminating the food which is not good for my constitution. And so I had like a bloating, I had the burping, I felt my one knee joint, I would say, before cleanse, it was quite sensitive. Yes. I had a foggy mind, I would say, so I wasn't clear about what to do, where to go. I was like every mom, like multitask, 10 tasks at one time. And so, foggy mind, a little bit worse vision, and hurtful joints, I would say. And and that is why I would like, I have decided to commit myself to do this cleanse for 3 weeks with you, Colette, and see how it will go.
Good. And what were your concerns going into the cleanse?
I was afraid that I would be starving. Just they would be deprived of the food, because for my constitution, I knew it before that it's not good to starve and to not to eat enough food. But as I was listening to your podcasts, and I have heard that there is no starving. You've got we will have enough food, and you before the cleanse started, we had the 90 minutes consultation, and you reassured me that I'm not going to stop. And this was the bingo point where I wanted to really start and to see how it will go further.
Yeah, because it is a concern of people, but that's why it's so important to tailor it, because with your Vata Pitta constitution, you should not go hungry for a long time. It could be very aggravating. So yes, I always make sure that people with Vata Pitta are well nourished, and make sure that you're cleansing, but also that you're not going hungry, because we don't want to cause further aggravation. So tell me a little bit about your cleanse experience.
Well, the cleanse experience, so it was the first week when we had to eliminate certain products, so it went quite smoothly for me, even if I was expecting that I would have some headaches because of eliminating my coffee. But it went very well, because Colette, you recommended me to drink a lot of plenty of water, and it's really helpful, because as soon as I had a beginning of the headache, I immediately drank more, and so it was really quite challenging for me to drink a lot of water, especially in the beginning of the cleanse. But after I got used, because it's the body likes it started to ask and to get for this water, not for the food. And when the second week started, so it was a little bit challenging the first 2 days. I was still like thinking, oh my God, will I survive this cleanse? And starting from this third day, everything went so good. So I enjoyed the taste. So the taste of every meal which is on the list during the cleanse, especially these ghee balls. And so it was really delicious, and I enjoyed. I even made it one more time after the cleanse, just for the tasting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's very important for me that people enjoy the food. I mean, obviously during the cleanse, we're not, having a great diversity of food, but during cleanse week, but it's really important that the food is tasty. And I always say to people, if there's something that you really don't like, please let me know because I will make another change for you because I feel that you have to enjoy the food in order for it to be healing. That's really important for me to have food that's enjoyable. And as you said, the first couple of days, I do say to people, you're probably going to be a little bit more hungry. So please eat when you feel hungry because our body has not shifted over to using the stored fat for fuel. And that's, of course, where the toxins are held in the body in the stored fat. So that's what we're trying to pull out, that stored fat. But once, as you said, it goes into day 3, then the hunger subsides, the body's using that stored fat for fuel, and it's much easier. It's just getting over those first 2 days, right?
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
And then we had, of course, well, you're used to the yoga, being a yoga teacher and the pranayama and the mindfulness and all the self-care practices. And I know you were very committed to the process.
I was really committed. So I didn't cheat even one day. So I was eating according to the list, which because it was at the end, it wasn't for someone else. At the end, it's for myself. And to feel it went so great. And so I would say clean, pure from inside, and your mind was also like reset. And so, and I also would like to mention these self massages in the evening, which we used to do. So for me, it's also was the opportunity to take care of myself, to dedicate this time not to the family, but just to go away. Like you said, this is your cave time where you have to nourish yourself. You can journal, you can think, you can reflect on the day, on how it went, what emotions surfaced. Because when you are eating the very simple food, but at the same time tasty food, you are listening to the body. There is no way not to tune into the body. And the evening is a great time to digest, to reflect, and to make the massage. During this hour, it was my time to meditate, to make some very slow yoga. After the bathroom, I was ready to switch off.
To sleep.
To sleep, because they were so natural. I was doing it on purpose just before my bedtime, and I was warm after the bath. And it's so good because when you have warm hands and feet, so it's so easy to fall asleep. Because Vata doesn't have all the time warm hands and warm
Exactly. And it's very nourishing practice for Vata in the evening to calm the nervous system. And I love how you say that the awareness that you have during the cleanse, because we really slow down everything. We simplify the foods. There's less of your energy going towards making those choices every day. What am I going to eat? What am I going to do? Because you have a morning schedule, you have an eating schedule, you know exactly what you're going to eat, and you have an evening schedule. So it makes more space for awareness and to really tune inwards. And I know you mentioned that when you were talking about your post-cleanse experiences, that the awareness of the emotions and the food choices as you then went into rejuvenation week.
Yes. And the rejuvenation week was like, a blissful time really to taste the different new products that we were allowed to introduce back. You're like with open eyed a baby, and you are trying and exploring the new tastes.
It's after just 1 week of simple foods that your taste buds are resensitized. And then, and not only the taste is like, wow, everything tastes so vivid and but also that the texture right? All the new
Texture.
textures, and you just have a whole new appreciation for food.
Yes.
But then as we reintroduce the foods in rejuvenation, get really clear feedback from your body and your mind on what your body likes and does not like, right?
Yes, exactly. That and I remember that when I got the first almond milk with date and with a pinch of cinnamon, it just, for me it was divine drink, really. Something, it's not something very hard to make. Yes, the almond milk with the pinch of cinnamon and of date, and it tastes completely differently. I'm pretty sure that it would be not that much appreciated before the cleanse, this drink, yes.
Right.
But after the cleanse, it was so good.
Yeah, and all those ingredients are very sattvic. So they're used in rejuvenation because we're building back up the cells and tissues. So almonds, dates are really sattvic foods to help nourish the tissues, which is great. And you mentioned that during the cleanse, your daughter and husband were curious about what you were doing.
Yes, my family was also like joining and eating sometimes the food from my menu. And they got some khichdi and they really enjoyed it. And also my husband is not vegetarian, and so he used to eat khichdi during 2 days in a row and without even meat. So that means that this food with mung beans and with the basmati rice is very satiable.
Okay, great. And I love that they were curious about what you're doing, especially your teenage daughter, that she was curious. And I love that, you're being such a role model like this. Oh, cleansing, mom's cleansing. This is part of what we do. This is part of a natural part of life because they're observing what we're doing. They may not listen all the time, but they're definitely observing. And so for you to be such a great role model for your children and like, no, this is something that we do and take care of our body. And even your self-care time in the evening that you're saying to your family, okay, now this is my self-care time that this is a priority for me. I'm taking care of you all day. So now I need to go fill myself now and give myself some care and attention.
Yes, and I think that everyone, especially moms who are busy with their children, with their multitasking, they have so many duties during the day. And so this is also the great opportunity to take this time for 3 weeks to cleanse, and to at the end, the whole family will benefit,
Yeah. Yeah. And actually you mentioned that post cleanse that, you said, of course, physically you felt great, mentally you felt great, but also your interactions with others.
Yes, because I would say that this cleanse gave me the opportunity to go within myself, to go more inside, to look what I want, what I really want to do, and which is not that much important in my life, like to set the priorities, to set also the boundaries, like during the evening, this routine, when I got this hour for myself. It was also this the boundary of my time, which I was taken for myself, and at the end, my family they got benefits from it as well, because I was more calm, peaceful mom, content, smiling, and so and the family. They wanted to stay with me, and they wanted, how are you doing, the mom? And so, which day are you on your cleanse? And so it's also the way to make some bonds with the family members, and also it's important to have the support from them.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's quite difficult if you are on the cleanse and someone is requiring your time, and you are, let's say, you can't make at this time something.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I talk to moms about that a lot. Like the fact that you bring up boundaries here, it's a very good point in that, oftentimes if they're older kids and they're staying up a little later and they're used to having mom there whenever, they have a question or need anything. And that it's really important to set that boundary and be like, okay, you're fed, you're watered, you've done your homework, and now I'm going to take time before I go to bed to take care of myself. So I'm not available for this next,
Yes.
30, 45 minutes or so. And I think that's really important.
Yes, it is important because otherwise, especially when the kids are small, and it's quite impossible to explain them that mommy will not be available during the next hours, but they will. Maybe there is someone to help, maybe the husband or partner or someone. But this is really easy to figure out because you will get the support from the family members anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does require commitment, but I always say to people, it's 1 week. It's 1 week.
Yes, it's 1 week. Yes.
That you just to get to really treat your body well. Your body takes a lot of toxins on daily, environmentally and so on. And so to give your body some TLC for 1 week and just really strip everything back and simplify it. That commitment, as I say, always throughout the cleanse, as I'm supporting you on the cleanse and I'm in the private community, I'm like, you will reap the benefits of this commitment. I promise you, just hang in there. It's 1 week, hang in there. And you did, you're saying how much you reap the benefits. So tell us about how you felt post cleanse.
Yes, so the most exciting benefit for me after the cleanse was this waking naturally up in the morning without alarm. So this is was really wow, because I remember how I was a child and I was waking up easily by myself, and also maybe in my early 20s. So it was also easy for me to wake up. But now when I'm 46 this year, I'll be turning 46. So for me, it's not so easy to wake up naturally. And after this cleanse, after 3 weeks, even earlier during the cleanse, I'm waking early up without any alarm. So this is the number one. The second one, so I would say that my skin definitely changed after the cleanse. It started to naturally glow, and I've got so many compliments from my friends, and they were so curious about, Anna, what are you doing? What did you do? What have you done with your skin? The next thing, for example, I had the knee, which was sensitive, and I felt it, especially when I was in the evening, like walking downstairs. So it was sensitive. So after the cleanse, I don't feel it anymore. And so I am also trying to eat the foods which nourish me, not to eat anymore with the food which is like convenient to eat at that time and at this place. So now I'm more thoughtful about my choices, when I'm making grocery. And so I'm also trying to choose organic food, which costs, yes, a little bit more expensive, but at the end it nourishes me, my body. And so this is so clean, more clean than usual, like vegetables or fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. My gut issues also, the burping and this bloating, everything disappears. So it's regulated itself. So I would say that our health is so much depends on the food which we eat. So, and we have to be so conscious about the food that we choose and dedicate a little bit more time to this issue.
Yeah. And I would say also to invest as well in good quality food. I think it's a big investment. As you listen to this episode with Anna, if you would like to have your own digestive reset cleanse experience, please know that my next group Digestive Reset Cleanse starts March 28th. It's the spring cleanse where we eliminate any accumulation of toxins from the winter season and make sure that we enter into spring feeling light and clear and energetic, balancing the doshas and preventing any dis-ease in the body and mind. So if you're interested in joining this group Digestive Reset Cleanse, please click on the link in the show notes or visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com. For the group event, go to the events page. And if that date of March 28th doesn't work for your schedule, you can choose a private cleanse. It's the same structure, but you get to choose your own dates and you have me one-to-one for support. And for the private cleanse details, go to the programs page on my website. And I recommend booking your 90-minute online consultation soon so that I can tailor the cleanse to you and your lifestyle. So I hope you can come join us starting March 28th for this spring cleanse, and make sure and book your 90-minute online consultation soon so that I can tailor the cleanse to you and your lifestyle. Okay, let's get back to my conversation with Anna. And as you were saying before we were recording is, now that you don't have those gut issues, then that gives you more energy. You feel more productive. Like it just has a knock-on effect, and not only affecting your physicality, but mentally. And as we talked about a moment ago, your interactions with others, you just feel better.
Yes. And also I would like to mention that my foggy mind, which I felt before the cleanse, so it's disappeared. So I got more clarity. So it's like I feel more grounded after the cleanse. I feel this clear mind that I really know what I want to do and what I don't want to do.
That's great.
What I want to eat and what I don't want to eat after the cleanse. And this is so fascinating. It's a journey. I would say that really it's a journey. And if you will try the cleanse, you will feel the benefits even during the cleanse, but after the cleanse, if you stay committed, because as soon as you fall, you will feel it. Yes. I mean, if you fall by choosing wrong food, let's say, I was also very curious to try my first coffee cup after the cleanse, and you know what? I didn't like it. I didn't like the taste, and I was thinking, oh my God, it's all about my brain in the ritual style. I wanted to have this coffee smell in the morning, but at the end I didn't enjoy the taste of coffee. And the mind was like keeping me doing this day from the day. And the coffee is not good for me. And now I'm without coffee for more than a month. And so I feel so great.
Yeah, that's amazing. It does. And that's what I want for people with the cleanse is you get to, at the end of the cleanse, you're feeling your body and mind in balance. And then that's our goal going forward is, of course, things that can go in and out. We know the doshas go in and out of whack all the time, but the goal is to try maintain that balance. And again, I always promote an 80-20 lifestyle post cleanse, but now you have, you felt it viscerally in your body, what it feels to be grounded, have that clarity, have that energy, and you can achieve that. And then making choices each day to try maintain that balance without being too rigid, of course. But I think it's important to experience it, first of all, to know like, oh, this is possible. I can have good digestion, have clarity of mind, have great skin, have no gut issues, feel energetic and productive. This is possible. And as you say now, even going forward, you're making better choices. And even a few weeks out of the cleanse, which you just did this past cleanse in January, that you're still feeling very grounded, right? Your vata still feels grounded.
Yes, and I think that also my vata is grounded still because of the food that I'm choosing from the list that you gave us during the cleanse. And so this is so important to have this list and to choose the food which is really nourishing for you, for your constitution.
So I just explain to people, I give in the consultations and the cleanse, I give a dosha food list, and there's all the categories: grains, fruit, veg, spices, condiments, oils, everything on that list. And it says for your dosha, that you're balancing is what to emphasize, which will be 80% of the time, and what to limit, which will be 20% of the time. So again, we're not getting rid of anything. The point in Ayurveda is not to eliminate foods completely, because if you have to eliminate a group of foods, that's a problem with the workings of your body if your body can't digest it. So we get to the root of any digestive issues, then you can enjoy all types of foods, but you understand what I should have 80% of the time and what I should have 20% of the time. And I think that's great awareness from Ayurveda as well, is understanding that there's no foods that are off limits. It's just how much I can enjoy them.
Yes.
Right.
I agree. 100%.
Well done on continuing to eliminate coffee. And I think that for Vata, that's quite important because not only is the coffee dehydrating for Vata, but also very wiring. So I think that as well is helping you maintain balance as you go forward. And as you go forward now, how do you feel it's shifted just the journey with Ayurveda?
Well, I think that it's still changing. It's like a lifelong journey, this Ayurveda. I would say that for me, Ayurveda brought a lot of spices in my kitchen cabinet because when I was in our tradition, so we don't use a lot of spices, and Ayurveda, so we use the spices like a medicine. So I am filling up my kitchen cabinet with the spices, and I'm enjoying new taste because I wasn't familiar with these different spices before. And also, like, I would say that Ayurveda, like yoga, also brought more feeling of groundness in my life. So I really need it when we are moving around the world. And so it helps me to feel my roots anywhere we live.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very true. It's when you have a routine in your self-care and your mindfulness with your food that you can, no matter where you are, even if you're traveling short term or relocating like you do, it's about getting into that routine straight away, because those routines can help you ground no matter where you are. And also now you have more awareness of how to ground that Vata energy, which can be disrupted by moving. So these are great lessons from Ayurveda that help us throughout our life. Well, Anna, as we finish up here, is there anything else that you wanted to share, or if you have any advice or tip for the listeners that you want to share?
Well, Ayurveda has a lot of advices and tips. If you are curious, you can just open the book of Ayurveda, and so you will find a lot of. But from my side, what really helped in my life, so drink more water, please drink more water. This is the advice number one. And so for me, also helpful after the cleanse, I'm also doing it every day, the scraping of the tongue in the morning. Yes. So just to remove the coating that we have after the night. And this is also very helpful to remove the toxins or this ama, like we in Ayurveda we call. Also, maybe I would recommend to make oil pulling, like you suggested, to make it with sesame or with coconut oil. This is also good for the health of our gums. Contemplating about how your day went after, just taking a pause at the end. Also a good advice for me, like Vata dosha dominating. Yes, so this is like, I would say, like a couple of free advices: drink more water, oil pulling, scraping your tongue, and do some meditation, grounding practicing that allow you to stay in your body.
Yeah, absolutely. Great advice there, Anna. Absolutely. And these are simple dinacharya, these simple self-care practices that you do day in, day out. They provide that routine for grounding, but also they have a big impact over time. Day in, day out, compounded over time, really help to balance your body, balance the doshas, and ensure that by scraping your tongue every morning, you're keeping a check on that ama. If it's changing color, if it's changing texture, if it's changing in quantity, you know, like, okay, I am building up some ama. I can see by the color, there's a certain imbalance of a dosha. If it's yellow, green, it's pitta. If it's brown, gray, it's vata. And if there's excess white, then you know it's kapha. And by reading this and paying attention every day, you can really keep track of your health and avoid these big manifestations of dis-ease in the body and mind by making adjustments accordingly as you check your tongue every day. And I think, like you said, checking in with yourself in the evening or the morning, again, I tailor these self-care practices and mindfulness practices to each person's lifestyle, depending on how busy their day is and their commitments. But taking some time during the day just to check in and, tune into, what do I need today? What do I need today in my diet, in my lifestyle, in my self-care, mindfulness practices in order to keep me in balance today? And I think that's what's really amazing with Ayurveda. It teaches you and empowers you to be in charge of your own healthcare and not outsourcing that. You go through the cleanse, and it's a big educational process in order for you to feel confident going forward, making those decisions for your health.
I agree.
Great. So anything else as we finish up here? Anything else you want to add?
I would say that we have to listen to our bodies, but in order to listen into the body, sometimes modern people get lost into the mind, and we live more in our mind than in our body. And in order to tune into the body, the cleanse is a very great opportunity to slow down and to tune into the body. And after the cleanse, there is no chance to be, cheated by the body, because the body will not lie you. And so take this opportunity to just invest just 3 weeks and of commitment, and you will be flourishing or blossoming after. Yeah, and your body will give you a lot of thanks.
Absolutely. Yes. The body, once you're cleansed, the body will give you clear indications of what it likes and what it doesn't like. Absolutely. Yes. Well, Anna, I really appreciate you sharing your story today. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me, Colette.
I hope you enjoyed that chat with Anna. And thanks again to Anna for sharing her experience with Ayurveda. Don't forget, I have that upcoming discounted Digestive Reset Cleanse for spring starting March 28th. You can find all the details in the show notes, or visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com, where you can find all about my online services. If you haven't already subscribed or followed the podcast, please do so. And the new episodes will automatically download for you every week. And if you feel like you're getting benefit from this podcast, I would really appreciate a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcast. And thank you in advance for that. Please come join me on social media. My new Instagram page is Elements of Ayurveda Podcast. And on Facebook, you'll find me under Elements Healing and Wellbeing. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take good care of yourself, be well, and bye for now. Slán go fóill.